What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to be installing headlights, tail lights, suspension, control arms, front bumper, maybe throwing the wheels back on. We're going to be reassembling the whole car. First thing I'm going to do is get these tail lights in. We're going to go ahead and install our headlights. I'm ready to install my upper control arms, which is right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of grease on these bolts and then send them through. Alright, so I'm not going to tighten this completely, these bolts, because we have to preload this. Because if I go ahead and tighten these, that control arm will be stuck in that position. So when the car flexes and goes back down and all the weight gets on it, it's going to cause that bushing to twist. So in order to prevent that from happening, what we need to do is preload it, which means put some weight underneath it and make it seem like if all the weight is on that side. Therefore, when you tighten everything, it will be exactly where it needs to be, and that bushing won't be all twisted. It'll be exactly where it needs to be, and then when you jack it up, that bushing will twist. So we're gonna do the opposite. I don't know if that makes any sense, but always preload, otherwise you're gonna rip up your bushings. So like right now, everything's loose. This down here is completely loose like this, because it's loose still up there. But once I tighten it, it's gonna get stiff right there, right where it's gonna get stuck in that position. So I wanna make sure that it's exactly where I want it. The bolts up here doesn't really matter at all. I can just go ahead and tighten these all the way. We are gonna go ahead and add a little bit of grease at the bottom of the strut, just so it's easier for it to slide onto the fork. Make sure this fork is all the way in. There is a little groove in the back where it needs to sit on. So make sure that groove is exactly where it needs to be. And put our bolt that goes through the fork. This one's gonna be a 17. That's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and preload the system. That way I can go ahead and tighten those bolts that are on the top. Go ahead and tighten those. on the top. Nice and tight. I'm gonna set the car back down. The suspension back down. And the suspension has been preloaded. I got the wheel back on. I'm just gonna go ahead, knock out the other side, let the camera charge, and we'll continue in the rear. So right now, I'm ready to install the rear suspension back in. For the preload in the rear, I'm just gonna go ahead and set the car on the ground, and then I'll come back from the rear and impact all those bolts in. I'm gonna go ahead and install the other side, and we'll continue. The suspension is down, and we are gonna go ahead and hit the 3 bolts on this side and the 1 on this side, the 3 on this side. Swivel, boys. So there it is. Everything's ready. She's looking very nice from the back. I went ahead and I adjusted my suspension once again. Remember, my suspension ain't that great. I have sleeves, so what I did was I raised up the suspension just a pinch. The suspension ain't meant to be slammed, and either way, this car ain't built for that. This car is built for road racing, so there's no way we're gonna be squatting it to then go do some racing. But I got the suspension right where I wanted, right where I think it's gonna give it that nice little flex when we hit it down the highways of Mexico. This took the whole weekend, but we got her done. We're getting closer. Let's go cross out our chart in the back. And we are getting closer. We're gonna start cutting some weight, maybe in tomorrow's video. Oh, and this, we took care of this too. So we're getting closer and closer. This is where the fun really starts for me. This is where I'm gonna really start having a lot of fun chopping this baby up. Either way, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go down and hit it. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit it. Help others find my channel, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, stay safe, catch you guys later.
This is Bar Boss life. Pull up in the Civic, and you know that thing is stick shift. This is Bar Boss. cause that rattle can't hit different. This is bar boss life. Pull up in the civic and you know that thing is stick shift. This is bar boss life. Can't look like it's dripping cause that rattle can't hit different. This bar boss life, y'all. Yeah. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Yeah. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to leave a comment.